We won't spend as much time or any more time than we need to on what happened to the Buffalo Bills on Tuesday night. But I never bought into the narrative that the Tennessee Titans were at a big disadvantage because they had to adjust their practice schedule. I thought Buffalo had to deal with just as many things and weren't as well rested. Pat, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, 100%, right? You have a team, like, it shows what rest can do for an NFL team. Like, the Titans were seriously banged up in the week that they would have been going in to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they had time to sit down and rest. Meanwhile, the Bills lost Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White, and John Brown in the week before they had to play the Titans. Look, I mean, it's a loss. It's a loss. It's over. It's no excuse. Fine, whatever. But yes, the Bills were at a sincere disadvantage. And, oh, by the way, we're coming to your house after you've been able to sit for 16 days. I was very upset with the fact that the game was even played. And then this idea that, oh, the Bills aren't what we thought they were. No, like, how do you judge a team based on what they just had to go through?
I think it's unfair. It's unfair for the Bills. They had to readjust their schedule. Sean McDermott is a taskmaster and always keeps his schedule extremely tight. If I tell you 3 or 4 days before you're going to play a game that you're not going to play that game, you're going to play it 3 days later, it throws the entire system off whack. I actually think it's going to have an effect in the Kansas City game. I'm not sure if Buffalo is going to be ready to come back with Kansas City coming off of that loss to the Raiders last week. So this is going to be a really tough week for the Buffalo Bills to get over it very quickly, get your offense back going, find out what happened in defense. But to Duffy's point and to everybody's point, Tennessee had a week. They had like a little extra bye, basically, when you have 4, 5, 6 players who don't play, and then you have your other 50 players who get to heal up and play. They were itching to play on Tuesday night.
All right, Pat, start with you. Kansas City is going to be about a 3-point favorite, which you have to look at the Buffalo Bills thinking a year after the year that Kansas City had, they're within 3 points of this team. How do you see the game?
I think the Bills, I like the Bills for this game, and I'll tell you why. Like, as much as a disaster as that Titans game was, it was a complete disaster. I get more worried about football teams that have one thing go wrong over and over again. Overall, the defense isn't great, but every week it's a different reason why the defense isn't great. That game, Derrick Henry and the Titans, it was the first game he didn't rush for 100 yards. They shut him down pretty well. Ryan Tannehill didn't come close to throwing for 300 yards. That's what the Bills had given up the last couple of weeks. It was short field every single time. Even the Bills Super Bowl teams went out and got shut out in prime time. There was a game in 91 where they lost 33-6 in prime time to the Kansas City Chiefs, went to the Super Bowl and went 13-3. I think the Bills bounced back just fine, and I think this is more of a statement game now for the Bills than it was for the Chiefs coming off that loss against Las Vegas.
I think for the Chiefs, this is going to be one of the rebound games. I think they thought they could they can get into a shootout with the Raiders, and they didn't. They do have to travel. That's going to be tough for them. I'm not quite sure how well they're going to handle that, but I can't see the Super Bowl champions losing 2 games in a row. For the Buffalo Bills, I was kind of shocked they lost on Tuesday. I thought they'd make it a closer game. I thought they actually win the game against Tennessee. I want to know if they're able to bounce back this quickly. I know it's a Monday night game, but I just think Kansas City is not going to let 2 in a row go.
You know, a guy that we haven't talked about since early on is Star Lotulelei. And I wonder, with the way the defense is playing, is how much of this, and we said it at the time, we may learn to appreciate what this guy meant to the Buffalo Bills by how they play without him.
Sure, but I mean, I don't know how much of it is the rushing game, right? Like, it's a tight end one week, it's a rushing game the other week. They're finding ways to plug the holes, but in doing it, they're opening other holes. And to Tariq's point, you don't see the Chiefs losing back-to-back games. Last season, when they won the Super Bowl, after starting 4-0, they dropped 3 of their next 4. I mean, it's in Mahomes for it. It could happen. It's possible, and I like the Bills on Sunday. I do.
Yeah, pick it for me, will you, Pat?
Bills, no cover.
Chiefs by 7.
I like Kansas City by 10. I think they're in relatively the same position the Bills are, except they've played kind of 2 soft games in a row. Kansas City's I think is going to rally and come back.